What's going on, people? People come in here before I get started.
You need to turn that down. It's buzzing, like screeching like your hearing aid.
Let me go ahead and get started. Talk about this 135 lightweight division. I was watching the fights this weekend. Lomachenko, he had a nice outing. He did what he was supposed to do. He stopped Coleman. He won the fight against Coleman, excuse me. But everybody had him beating Coleman, so it wasn't unexpected. But what I did see is he dropped Cormier in the seventh round, I believe, and he was asking for the corner to stop the fight, but the corner couldn't. The corner didn't stop the fight, and he couldn't get him out there. So, I mean, you asked for the corner to stop the fight, and you couldn't get him out of there. So it basically made yourself look crazy because you try to make yourself look like you had more power than you actually did. So, I mean, that's just funny to me. And then they put up the rankings of the lightweight. It had Kambosa number one, Lomachenko number two, Tank number three, Devin number four. Now, Kambosa, I understand why he's ranked number one. He's the champion of three of the belts. But Loma, he got two losses. And you put him above Tank and Devin, who has no losses. Devin have the WBC belt. So Devin's been calling out Lomachenko. That's the reason why Devin has the WBC belt. You didn't fight Devin, but they put Lomachenko in front of Devin and Tank, which doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you put somebody that has two losses in front of two guys with no losses, and one of them have the WBC belt, and both of the guys have called you out, and you fought neither one of them? You dropped your belt to not fight one of them. So that doesn't make sense. But of course, ESPN is going to do what they normally do and put their guys up there to try to get their guys back at that championship status again, which they've been doing with Lomachenko since he came into the pros. His first fight was for a championship belt, and he lost, and then they put him right back in for another title shot. But everybody know Devin should be getting that fight with Kambosa. He earned it. He's been calling out for it. He's been chasing T.O. for it. He chased Loma for it. Nobody wants to seem to give him that that title fight, that unified fight, which will be undisputed, the real undisputed fight. Nobody wants to give it to him, which makes no sense to me because what is the purpose of you fighting to be basically to be called undisputed or to get a big payday? So if Cambosa fights Loma, that won't be his big payday. That's just basically giving Loma the chance to win his titles back because everybody know his biggest paydays will be with Devin and with Tank if Tank choose to fight him. That Tank said he don't want to fight him for the belts. He'll fight him for free. He don't want the belts. Devin called him out. He came to Devin fight to watch Devin fight. He came to Tank fight to watch him fight. Um, so what was the purpose of coming to their fights? If you just wanted to scout them, you could have stayed at home and scouted them. You came to the fights because those were supposed to be one of the guys that you wanted to fight. Like I said, Devin is the one that you should be trying to fight because he has the real WBC belt. Everybody knows he has the real WBC belt. Loma's just going around fighting T.O.'s leftovers. So Cambosa said he likes the way Loma is moving, but how is he moving? Because if Loma was moving the way he's supposed to be moving, either he would be going for a rematch with T.O., or he'd be going against Devin, or he'd be going against Tank. So you going back to fight Nakatami and fight Comey, that's moving backwards. That's not moving forward. So how is he really moving? And that pretty much tells me what Cambosa is because he said he was going to fight Devin. He said he has no problem fighting Devin if Devin is willing to come to Australia. Devin said he want to go to Australia to fight him. He don't care where he's at. So you going after Loma when you said you would go out, you would fight Devin. It's pretty much the same as everybody else been doing. Once they get that status, they decided not to fight Devin. They want to duck Devin. So I don't understand that. And like I said, everybody talking about Tank Tank shouldn't be fighting for Cambosa. He doesn't deserve it. He this and that. But Tank said he don't want to fight him for the belts. But Tank just fought a guy with a hurt hand basically the whole fight because he came in there with his hand already injured. He just re-aggravated it in the fight. So he fought a guy with one hand the whole fight. So that made everybody saying Tank lost the fight. Why? Because he didn't lock him out. You don't have to knock everybody out to win a fight. You win a fight by beating your guy up, winning on the scorecards, or possibly knocking him out. So I don't get what they said. And like I said, Devin pretty much answered all the questions that people wanted to see from him. Can he take a punch? Can he get in there with a brawler? And JoJo is a brawler, and JoJo, he don't have the biggest punch, but he does have a punch. And he caught Devin a couple of times on the chin, flush, and Devin walked right through it. He wasn't phased like he was when he was in the Linares fight. So I mean, he answered the question. Like I said, Devin's been calling for that fight for the past 2 years, 3 years. And like I said, he has the WBC belt. So you're supposed to be fighting for for the undisputed. What's going on? Peace, God, Ricky. What's going on with you, man? Hey, y'all told me to start a channel. I decided to start the channel. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah. So I mean, I don't understand these people, man. They move funny. And I said, they somehow they like the way Cambosa told me he liked the way Loma's moving. He's moving backwards. He's not moving forward. I mean, this crazy. You fighting Nakatami and Coleman. You supposed to be fighting Devin and you or fighting Devin or fighting Tank, calling out Tank. Tank already said he ready for the fight. Devin been calling you out. That's the reason why Devin have the WBC title, because you didn't want to fight him. So you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. And Cambosa is starting to show his true colors just like all the other fighters, just like Tio, just like Loma. They said they're gonna fight and they're not fighting. You're not moving for the payday. You're looking for an easier fight. You know Devin is gonna put up a Titus for you. You know Tank is pretty much gonna get you out of there. So you figure you might have a shot with Loma, but everybody already picking Loma to beat you too. So you you pretty much in a no-win situation. Why not go for the real undisputed or go for your biggest payday? Why go and go fight somebody that's not going to get you a big payday or any other undisputed? When you finish your thoughts, who you got, Bronny? Oh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Bronny better be. You know what? I think I'm gonna take better be in a possible late round stoppage. I mean, until I see somebody hurt better be or put him down like that, I don't see nobody in that division right now beating him. Now Brownie, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I'm not gonna say he's a bum or anything like that. He's a good fighter, but I got better be beating him. I got him stopped him probably like around round 9, round 10. He probably gonna stop him. He gonna break him down and stop him in the later rounds. But um yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. I'm definitely watching that fight. I'm gonna do a more in depth prediction video on that as well. But yeah, that's a good fight. Um, but yeah, so um, I don't understand how these guys are moving. But and then now I hear everybody asking, oh, what Earl going to do now that Boosted moved up in the rankings? Earl's going to do what Earl always do. Until they call him as a mandatory, Earl is looking to fight the champion. Why y'all not saying Bud make the fight? Bud is asking to be the IBF mandatory. Man, what the fuck is this bullshit? Why not just take the 60-40 that Earl offered you? Everybody know Earl offered you 60-40. Why not just say, okay, let's take the 60-40? You want to be the WBC mandatory. Now you want to be the IBF mandatory. What? This shit doesn't make no sense at all. Why not just take the 60-40 and get it over with? All this jumping around. Oh, I'm trying to be the IBF mandatory. I'm trying to be the WBC man. Man, that's all for show. He don't want the fight. Just come out there and tell everybody, hey, I don't want the fight. Because even when you look at it, Earl, everybody know Earl offer you 60-40. Why not take the 60-40? If you're trying to be his mandatory, just say, Earl, send me the 60-40. Why not? Doesn't make any difference. This shit is crazy. And Bud fans jumping back on the bandwagon. Oh, Booster moved up, but Boost is also the is in second and ranked number 2 in the WBO. So don't think that Boostin already called out Terrence Crawford. Not to mention, you got Ortiz sitting right there, number one, waiting for them to mandate that fight. So what is Bud going to do? It's not what Earl going to do. We know what Earl going to do. Earl going to do what he always do. Earl have never ducked nobody. He's going to do what he always do. He's going to fight whoever they put in front of him, or he's going to fight one of the champions. And he's looking for Terrence Crawford because he can't get Ugas right now. So Terrence Crawford, instead of you jumping around asking the IBF to be mandatory or asking the WBC to be the mandatory, call a man on the phone. You said you got his number. Call him on the phone. Hey, Earl, have your people write up that 60-40 contract and send it to me. I'm ready to sign it. Then you could tweet that out. Tweet out everything else. This shit is just funny to me. These people is so funny. They always jump on Earl neck, but they never say anything about how Bud is moving. But let them tell it. Bud is doing everything right. EJ running from everybody. Bud doing everything right. These people are straight clowns. I don't understand it. But my I also seen that Carter Ben is calling out Bona. But I understand Adrian Bona. He's a name in boxing or whatever, but it's not the same Adrian Bona. He's even worse than the Adrian Bona that stopped throwing punches. Now he's having issues mentally and everything. So we don't know what's going on with Adrian Bona. But why are you calling out Adrian Bona? You got Speedy Rashid Ellis in that division. You got Boots in that division. You got Ortiz in that division. You got Carr in that division. Why not call on one of those guys? Why are you calling out Adrian Bona? I mean, you got 16 fights, 17 fights? You calling out Adrian Bona. Like I said, I understand why you calling out Adrian Bona, but unless you giving Adrian Bona a payday, he's not going to take the fight anyway. So you calling him out for no reason. Adrian Bona is looking for a paycheck. He's not fighting anybody just for them to make a name on themselves. If you're not giving him a big payday, he's not taking the fight anyway. So I don't understand why you calling out Adrian Bona. Like I said, you called out Rashid Ellis. He hasn't fought in a while. Nobody fighting him. It doesn't seem like Eddie Hearn's even trying to promote him. I mean, not Eddie. Is he under Eddie Hearn or no, under Oscar? Oscar's not even trying to promote him. So he just sitting there. And then, I don't even understand that. Right, Ricky. Adrian's looking for 8 figures. That's what I'm like. If you ain't giving Adrian Bona no big money, he ain't taking a fight. So I don't even understand why these people is jumping on that daggone bandwagon. Like I say, if he ain't getting no big fights and he ain't getting no big money for the fights, he's not taking the fight. So Carter Ben, you can bark up another tree because that's not gonna happen. Like I said, that's not gonna happen. You might as well go look at Speedy Rashid Ellis, Juwan Ellis, Ortiz, or Carr. You can look at one of those guys because you're not gonna get that fight with Adrian Bona. Now, from what I've seen, he made some improvements or whatever, but what I want to see for Conor Ben, I want to see if he can go 12 rounds. Because what I seen in that fight, I called it pretty much how it was going to go. He was going to knock him out, and I saw that because you fighting somebody that's 37 years old. He's past his prime, and he's been knocked down 10 times in his career already anyway. So I already seen that coming. I seen he was going to knock him out because I know Carter Ben got a lot of power, and he comes swinging hard straight from the gate, and that's what I'm talking about. I want to see if he can go 12 rounds. Because him coming straight out like that, If you get in there with somebody that can really box, like a Jerron Ennis or Speedy Rashid Ellis, when you get in there with somebody like that can box, and you're not gonna be able to hit him that easy like you was on Chris Algieri, what's gonna happen in the later rounds? Are you gonna still have that energy, or are you gonna gas out? Because I mean, your tank is running full when you first get in there for the first 6 rounds, but what's gonna happen when you get past that midway point? Are you going to go straight to eat, or are you still going to have a reserve tank? Because when you throwing your punches that hard, it takes a lot out of you, a lot. By that 6th round, if you ain't get your man out of there and you ain't prepared to go 12 rounds, you're gonna hit a wall hard, and it's gonna be easy picking for whoever you in there with if they can really box and they got a nice power with them. It's gonna be easy picking for them because they already seeing how you come out. You come out fast and hard, so all they're gonna do is just reserve their gas tank and let you get all your energy out. They're gonna box and move and bounce around, and then once they see you gas out, then they turn on their tank, and you're gonna be easy picking for anybody. So I mean, but like I said, I knew he was gonna knock him out. Um, I didn't think it was gonna be as early as it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna go a few more rounds, but I knew it was gonna be a knockout. Um, I didn't see Chris Algieri putting up no type of problems for Conor Ben. I knew Conor Ben was gonna come straight at him. He wasn't gonna keep that young man off of him. So I mean, pretty much how I called it. Like I said, the Jared Anderson, that was a nice fight, but Jared Anderson, um, I didn't like how he kept ducking his head. He kept ducking down, and when he get in there with some real heavyweights that's for real, him ducking his head down like that, he gonna get slapped. I mean, I know he can do that now because he's fighting a bunch of people that's still coming up. But when he get in there with somebody that can really fight, him ducking his head down and he drops his guard too much when he comes in. He comes in to swing his combination or whatever, and he drops his guard and he ducks his head down to the left. That's that's gonna that's a recipe for disaster right there. So he got to work on that. He got to work on that ASAP because he's calling out for the big guys and all that. He need to work on that ASAP because he's gonna get slept. I see him. I see him getting in there with anybody like Matt Truck, or get in there with even with King Kong. King Kong old, but King Kong got skills. He not gonna be able to do all that on King Kong Ortiz. So you get in there thinking, oh, he old or whatever. Let me make a name for myself. You get in there with King Kong Ortiz. Even you get in there with Andy Louise. Andy Louise, he not as big as he was when he fought AJ the second time. Now he done lost weight and turned that fat into muscle. So he might be the Andy Louise that beat AJ the first time. So you get in there with somebody got some skills. They gonna match your movement ability, and they're gonna match your power. And you gonna be able to stand there with them because that guy that big man from St. Louis, Stephen Stephen Shaw, he ain't no joke. I was watching him last night. That boy ain't no joke, and I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be a good fight right there with Big Baby versus him. I don't know if Big Baby gonna be able to do what he did this past weekend because, like I said, with him dipping his head down and trying to throw that overhand right, he was getting caught. It's just the guy that he was fighting didn't have no power. He got caught a couple of times, but the guy he fought didn't have no power, and he looked like he was scared. So you can't beat nobody if you scared of him and you pretty much running as you throwing punches. But I mean, that's my time. This is my first live. I will be back with more content and more predictions. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be back. Catch y'all later.